What conversations are the police and education ministries having about school safety? ENCA's Linda Kulu has been tracking the story for us, and he joins us now live. Now, Linda, you spoke to the police minister today. Does he think that enough is being done to get to the core of this issue of school violence, the most recent one involving a pupil at Mondeor High School, Kulani Matebula, and I believe 3 people being arrested in that case as well?
Well, the latest coming from there is that 3 pupils have been arrested. In fact, I should say 3 teenagers have been arrested. These are teenagers, the 2 of them are 15 years old, and 1 of them is, of course, 13 years old. So these are minors at this stage. We understand that they were the ones implicated in this matter. But what we understand from the police minister in terms of the fact that are they having conversations, he said that they are engaging with National Department of Education about what to do faced with this crisis. But one thing that he certainly said, without fear, if I may put it in that way, was that it's not yet time to put police vans in schools. And he says that police are there, are stationed in places where crime activity takes place or when there's a hotspot. But in this regard, he says schools are a learning place. Teaching and learning needs to take place there, and they only respond at this stage. But they are looking for other ways to actually ensure that there is that pupils are safe and that incidents such as these do not happen on a regular basis or any at all.
What are we hearing about the Education Department? When do they believe it is time to get more heavy-handed with security at schools? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, we've heard more from Panyaza Lesufi about breaking up fights and investigating murders in the last 2 months than we have about incidents involving textbooks and teaching.
It certainly hasn't been a good first term for the Department of Education, particularly in Gauteng. I mean, Panyaza Lesufi has been handing over schools, new schools, state-of-the-art schools, but that has been overshadowed by all of these negative, things happening crime and all of that,
well, yeah.
And violence coming from schools. But what the Department of Education is, on contrary to what the minister is saying, is that they believe that it is time to take drastic measures. They have called for patrols in schools to say, perhaps if we can have a police van visit a school in the morning when they know it's rush hour, in the afternoon when it's break time, and of course later when pupils go back to their homes. But they're certainly calling for police visibility. They're saying that might be something to look at. But of course they've also spoken about the fact that there are those conversations that are being had, but those conversations at the moment not yielding any results in terms of action being taken to actually curb these things. Because at the end of the day, what we see is officials coming out and say they're shocked about this, they're doing whatever they can about this, people must be arrested. But in terms of the proactiveness of curbing or preventing these, there's nothing really that's coming out of any of the officials we've been able to speak to, and that is the Department of Education and even COSA saying that it might be time to put security in these schools.
Now, you would have spent time at Mondeor High School, the latest school to be affected by an horrific murder, this time 19-year-old Kulani Matebula. What's the atmosphere at the school like at the moment?
Well, certainly somber feelings there. There have been constant meetings with the principal and with the MEC, with the pupils themselves, and it seems that it's quite a difficult time for them. And as you enter the staff room there, which is where most pupils enter as they go inside the school, there is that photo of Kulani Matebula and candles just there, and you see that it's something that they have tackled head on. They told pupils what has happened, and they've been constantly updating them. But we understand that there might be some sort of closure after this period. There will be a memorial service tomorrow morning where they will be paying tribute and their respects. And we understand when we went to the scene of the crime, there was a cross erected there, a white cross with flowers just around it to show, pupils have been walking inside that school, were there very early, and they had flowers with them, putting the flowers there. But it is a process that the department is saying they are assisting the pupils in terms of just coming to terms with what has happened and trying to move on from what has happened, which is by counseling and offering any kind of support that they have. But at this stage, it seems that they are still taken aback by what has happened, and it's quite a difficult time there.
Linda, we're going to leave it there for now. A really tough story for you to cover, but thank you so much for your time. We will have more on that story as it develops.